They say someone is always watching, but I never thought it could be from above, from the walls I trust, until the noises began. Before you hear what happened, subscribe. You'll want someone to be watching with you. Hit subscribe now, because this story isn't for the faint of heart. It started innocently enough. I was just moving into my new apartment, one of those old buildings with creaking floors and a dusty attic. The kind of place where the walls seemed to remember everything. I loved it. I loved the charm, the history, the feeling of privacy. It was a place that was entirely mine. The first night, I noticed the faintest shuffle above me, almost imperceptible, like someone tiptoeing across the attic floor. I shrugged it off. It was the wind, I told myself, or maybe an old animal trapped somewhere. But the sound returned the next night. A soft scuffing, followed by a pause, then a breath, deliberate, measured. I felt eyes on me, even though I was alone. I checked every inch of the apartment, cupboards, closets, under the bed, behind the sofa, nothing, only the warmth of my own fear growing. Over the following days, the sounds became more deliberate. Footsteps pacing, scratching, moving slowly from one corner of the ceiling to another. Sometimes at night, a shadow would pass behind the cracks in the ceiling, just beyond the attic hatch. But the hatch was locked, sealed. It was impossible to open without a ladder. It's nothing, I told myself again, just the old building settling. But a chill ran down my spine. I started noticing little things. Small objects shifted. A book on the table turned sideways, a photograph slightly askew. Notes I hadn't written were left on my desk. They were unsigned, in my own handwriting, with words that whispered, "I see you. I am close." "You are mine," I panicked, thinking someone had broken in, yet the locks were intact, the windows secure. Each night, the attic seemed to breathe. Faint creaks and whispers, tiny taps against the ceiling like someone tracing patterns I couldn't see. Then, one night I woke to the sound of breathing. Calm, rhythmic, right above me. It wasn't just a noise, it was intentional, intimate, almost tender, as if someone had been watching me all evening, waiting for the right moment. I realized this presence wasn't a stranger in a mask or a shadow in the dark. It was someone who knew me, who knew my habits, the rhythm of my life, the patterns of my days. I could feel their fascination, their obsession, weaving through the floorboards, into the walls, into the very air around me. Terror gripped me, but there was something else too, a sickening curiosity that made me strain my ears, try to listen. And that's when I heard it clearly. A voice, soft, almost a whisper, from above. "Do you see me?" My heart stopped. Blood rushed to my ears. I remembered the rumors about the building, stories of old tenants who vanished without a trace, strange noises in the night, warnings that the attic was never empty. I shivered, locking every door, yet sleep evaded me. My dreams were invaded by footsteps and murmurs, shadows crawling along the ceiling. The next morning I found tiny gifts, strange but personal, left near my bed, a lock of hair that wasn't mine. A small folded note with my name written perfectly. I could feel the watcher's gaze from above. The attic hatch was closed, yet somehow, impossibly, he was there. I began noticing more. Subtle scratches along the door frames. Small holes drilled in the corners of the ceiling for peeking. Objects arranged to record movement. It was evidence of careful, intimate, meticulous surveillance. It was frightening. I knew then that I was not alone, not for a moment, not even in my own thoughts. The watcher in the attic was present in every shadow, every sound, every breath I took. I tried everything, new locks, security cameras, alarms. But the next morning, the notes continued, the small gifts continued. One night I thought I'd scared him off. I left a ladder out in the hall as a trap. But when I checked, nothing had been disturbed. Only a whisper came through the floorboards. "I am always above you." I could feel it, a warm pressure, an intimate presence, watching, waiting, following, shaping my routines, learning my fears, knowing my secrets. I became obsessed too. Checking, listening, trying to see. Until one night I saw a shadow move across the attic hatch, darker than the darkness itself. I felt it lean close, a presence, faceless yet personal. I realized with horror this admirer was not human. Not a stranger, not someone I could fight or confront, but something else. Ancient, patient, and attentive. The gifts changed, becoming more intimate, more unsettling. Items I couldn't explain started appearing in my apartment. Strange smells, unfamiliar fabrics, bizarre objects placed just so, as if someone had been inside while I slept, yet the doors remained locked. The thought that it was watching me every waking moment, through the floorboards, the walls, the ceiling, invaded my mind. I stopped leaving the apartment. I became a prisoner in my own home. Paranoia twisted every sound into footsteps, every breeze into whispers. And still, the gifts continued, the notes, now messages written in ink, so black they seemed to absorb light. I love you. You are mine. Do not leave me. I screamed one night, pounding on the ceiling, begging, crying, demanding he leave. The reply came, not in words, but in movement. A soft shuffle, a step across the boards, closer to the hatch. I realized that my screams amused him, fed him, made him more attentive, more intimate. The presence never left, never rested, always observing. Then one night, as lightning flashed, I finally saw a shadow move beyond the hatch. It was impossibly thin, impossibly long, reaching down, brushing the hatch with invisible fingers. I understood that this admirer was not bound by the rules of humans, nor constrained by doors or walls. It existed in the space above, in the attic, in the cracks and shadows, waiting, patient, intimately tied to my fear, my curiosity, my life. I shivered, knowing I could never escape completely. That even if I left, part of him would remain, lingering in the walls, in the ceilings, in every room I entered, following silently, always. I whispered a warning to myself, to anyone listening, anyone who moves into an old building. Check your attic, listen carefully, do not ignore the sounds above you. Some admirers never leave, some watchers never sleep. And if you hear them, do not look too closely. They are already looking at you. If you survive this story, dare to explore the other videos on this channel. Every attic, every shadow, every whispered noise may hold another secret, but remember, some watchers never leave and some secrets follow you long after the lights go out.